Hi everyone, welcome to this new live streaming. Hello Ong, hello Shunsuke, hello Telmo, ciao Italo, hi. And happy to be here one more time to talk about guitar. And as usual, I'm going to show you the first important things about this major turnaround workout. This is the 5th episode, and we are talking about these 4 chords: C major 7th, A minor 7, D minor 7, and G 7th, which are the first degree in the major scale, the 6th, the 2nd, and the 5th degree. And to talk about this, we are going to use these books, which are books that I wrote. They are made of diagrams so that you can easily understand everything, also if you don't speak Italian, because they are made just with diagrams. Okay, and tonight I would like to talk about arpeggios first, as always. Then we will talk about modes, and we'll talk about 4-note chords, drop 2 voicings, and how to connect them as usual. And I have few ideas to play around some positions that I'm going to show you. As usual, if you like, please ask your questions at the end, and I will be happy to answer if I can. And I would like now to begin just talking about how to find some files into the group. So I share with you my screen, and as you can see here in our Facebook group, you can go into the files section here, and here you can download all of the PDF files that I upload into the group. These are the etudes that I uploaded to YouTube, and you can easily open them in your browser and have notes and tablatures for each improvisation. But today we are going to use these two files. The first one is this one, where you can find all of the positions that I will show you during this video, into this video. Okay, so these are the arpeggios that we will learn from this book, Schemi per chitarra, arpeggi nei box di 5 tasti. These are positions for modes. Of course, I will explain something about these modes while I show you the positions. This is the book, Schemi per chitarra, modi nei box di 5 tasti. And these are the drop 2 voicings that we are going to learn today. These are the positions taken from the book. Here you can find all of the books, and this is my website. Okay, so this is just to know which positions we are going to learn today. And then you can find another file here that we will use today, which is this major turnaround workout episode 5, sorry, and where I will explain something about this soon. Well, and let's go and let's start to play some arpeggios, new positions for arpeggios today. And we are going to work from the 4th fret to the 8th fret. So this is a position that we did not before. We studied from the 3rd to the 7th, from the 5th to the 9th, to the 8th, from the 8th to the 12th, and then from the 1st fret to the 5th fret. But we didn't practice the boxes in between dots. Okay, so starting from the 4th, this is a position that for guitar players is a less common position. But at the end, if we study all of these positions, also the ones in between, they will help us learning some new fingerings for the material that we need to play. And for example, today we are going to learn arpeggios for C major 7th, A minor 7th, D minor 7th, and G 7th. And for who is connected for the first time, I would like to remind that in all of the past episodes I talked about different positions, and I talked about different techniques, little easy techniques, basic techniques to practice around arpeggios or around modes or around inversion for chords, for note chords. And today I will show a new technique, something new, and I hope you can follow all of this material and work using this material on more than one position, because our goal is trying to be able to use these techniques in different places of our fretboard, different points of our fretboard. And to do this, of course, we have to practice slow and learn how to understand the material first and learn how to use it around arpeggios or modes. So, starting from arpeggios, these are the positions that I would like to show you today, and not all of these positions are really comfortable. So, some of them will become a little bit difficult to play, maybe, but at the end they can be anyway helpful when we play. So, in this box, starting from the 4th fret up to the 8th fret, we're going to play C major 7 first, and we will start always from the lowest note to the highest one. In this case, we start from B and we play C major 7, so we will play C, E, G, and B. These are the notes that we are going to play, starting from B. B, C, E, G, B, C, E, G, B, and C. In the book you will find the diagram to learn these arpeggios, and on each note, for each note, you will find the correct degree in relationship with the chord. And this is very important to learn, as well as learn names for each note. So I start from B one more time. more time. Then I go to A minor 7th, and I will start from the lowest note as usual, from A. One more time. Then I play D minor 7th, and I will start always from the lowest note, A, which is the perfect fifth for D minor 7. One more time. And then I play G7, starting from B, which is the major third, and I play this arpeggio. Very well, so these are the positions. As usual, I suggest to you to practice arpeggios in inversions and find common tones and closest tones from one arpeggio to the other. But today I would like to talk about a different way, a different order in playing arpeggios. This is something similar to what I explained in the third episode of this series. And we will play arpeggios in a different notes in a different order. And this is what I would like to show you. We can go back to our browser. And this is the file that you will find into the group, the PDF file. As you can see, in this first measure, we have got the arpeggio played in the root position. So starting from C, we go up to C. While in this second measure, we will find the same notes in some way, but played completely in a different way. So we play the root, then we go up to the major 7th. As you can easily see, we didn't play the third and the fifth, so we are going up from one note to the fourth note, going up to with the arpeggio, okay? So we don't play two notes and we play another note then. Then we do the same starting from the third. We don't play G, we don't play B, and we play C. So we are not playing two notes in between. And then we do the same starting from the fifth. We don't play B, we don't play the C note, and we play the E note. We do the same from the 7th. We don't play the C note, we don't play the E note, but we play the G note. So the order is completely different. This is the basic arpeggio. And this is what we are going to play in this new version. Okay. And then we can do the same starting from the third. This is the basic arpeggio, first inversion, and this is the same approach that I used in the second measure, but starting from the third and going up to the major 7th. And of course I can go on with this kind of idea, starting from the fifth up to the fifth, or from the fifth with this different order up to the root. And the same starting from the 7th and going up to the third. So if I play the first one, measure 2, if I play the second one, starting from the third, this is it. And then starting from the fifth, and then starting from the major 7th, okay, I would like to show you this on the fretboard. So these are the positions. In this box it is a little bit strange, but I try. Root, 7th, 3rd, root, 5th, 3rd, 7th, 5th. Then starting from the 3rd, starting from the 5th, and starting from the major 7th. Okay, and these are these arpeggios played in a different order, but as you can see in this file, you can also find this different version, starting with the first idea going up, but the second interval is played coming down. Okay, so here I play less notes in these examples, but the concept is exactly the same. So I go up from the root to the major 7th, and then I go up to the root and down to the 3rd, up to the 5th and up to the major 3rd. Then I can do the same starting from the 3rd, of course. And so on, starting from the 5th and starting from the 7th. Okay, so this is the concept that I would like to share with you today. And of course I can do the same on each arpeggio, and I usually practice this on each fingering in each box, just to be sure that I can play this. For example, for A minor 7, root 7th, 3rd, root 5th, minor 3rd, minor 7th, 5th, root minor 7th, minor 3rd, root, and 5th, minor 3rd. For D minor 7, I start from the 5th, and from for G7, this is a little bit a strange position, but anyway, we can practice everything everywhere. And this is what I wanted to share with you, and it's easy, but as usual, this is a different concept that can help us in playing arpeggios with a different order. So if I start, for example, from the 5th for C major 7, I play the 5th and the major 3rd. When I go to A minor 7, I can play exactly the same, because they become minor 7 and 5th. But when I go to D minor 7, I have to choose or to go up, 5th and minor 3rd, or to go down, minor 3rd and root. And if I choose to go up, when I will go to G7, I will have to play root and minor 7th. While if I was going down before, went down before, then I can play the same also on G7, from D minor 7 to G7. Okay, in this way you can start playing using open intervals, spread intervals, open intervals, and have a different sound. Also, if you are just playing arpeggios, this is very important. As you know, I really like to use all of these materials in different ways. And I can try to improvise something for you using just this. And I will play just few notes just to be sure that I connect them in the correct way. C major, A minor, D minor, and G7. And so on. This is just using this kind of two notes groupings, okay? And the next thing that I would like to share is about modes. And first of all, we are going to learn the right position to play modes, and to do this we go back to the browser here, and these are the positions that I'm going to show you now. And as you probably know, we are always playing the C major scale, because we are playing for the C major 7 chord we are going to play the Ionian mode. For the A minor 7 we are playing the Aeolian mode. For the D minor 7 we are playing the Dorian mode, and for the G7 we are playing the Mixolydian mode. But at the end, all of these modes are just taken from the C major scale, but we are playing them starting from different notes, and all of the intervals are changing. So in this position we are always playing the same notes, starting from the lowest one, which is A, the 6th in C major, and we go up to C, which is the root in C major. Okay, in this fingering, it's important to play scales first, starting from each root and be able to sing them. We already talked about this in the past episodes, but I do it anyway, and I try to understand if I have one version for each scale or more than one. So starting from C, for example, I can play but I can also play then I start from A and I play the Aeolian mode, but I can also play then I play the Dorian mode, and then I play the Mixolydian mode. To do this, I was just starting from the A note, from the C note, or from the A note, or from the D note, or from the G note, and these are just the modes that we use. Of course, I suggest to you to watch all of the episodes to understand what I explained in those ones, just to know what to do with modes, and also because I explained something about theory in those videos. Today we are going to use these modes in a really easy way, but a little bit different from the past episodes. And to do this, I would like to show you these 2 pages from my book Appunti di Chitarra. As you can see here, we have got these modes: Ionian, Aeolian, Dorian, and Mixolydian. This is in Italian, of course, because the book is in Italian, everything in Italian. As you can see here, we have the first 3 notes for each mode transposed to each mode. So on C major, C Ionian, we play the root, the major second, and the major third. On A minor 7 Aeolian, we play the same, the root, major second, but flat third, minor third, of course. Then on D minor 7 we play the same, root, major second, and minor third. And on G7 we play the same, root, major second, and major third. Okay, so these are four easy phrases that we can play on each chord. And of course we can do another version. We can start from the third and then we play the fourth and the fifth, minor third, the fourth and the fifth, minor third, the fourth and the fifth, major third, the fourth and the fifth. And then we can do the same starting from the fifth, and we play the fifth, major sixth and major seventh, fifth, minor sixth and minor seventh, fifth, major sixth and minor seventh, fifth, major sixth and minor seventh. These black notes that I play in between are always passing tones, and in this case they are diatonic passing tones because they are notes taken from the scale. Okay, so these are not chromatic passing tones, these are diatonic passing tones because I am using notes from the C major scale. Okay, as you can see, we have on C major one phrase to be played, two phrases to be played, and three phrases to be played. And if we consider that we can play also this phrase starting from the third, going down to the root, they become 6 phrases to be played. Okay, and so for each chord we have, in the same way, for each chord we have 6 phrases now to practice in each fingering on guitar. Here you can see a different example. For example, here I start from the third on C major 7, but on A minor 7 I start from the fifth, which is the same note. So I'm working with common tones. The same 3 notes have got a different meaning if I play them on C major 7 or on A minor 7. And then I play 3 notes and the same 3 notes on D minor 7 and G7. Also here I'm using the common notes technique, but the meanings, the intervals in relationship with the chord is different. And here I play an example similar, but the first 3 notes are played going in the ascending way mode. These are descending. Okay, and here I do the same. Okay, so just to show you some different combination that we can apply to this this technique. And here it's the same, starting from the C major, from the 7th, and here I'm not using the common tones technique, because I'm moving up to C and going down to the root. And here I'm doing the same. I'm moving always to the next note, but they have got different rules in relationship with chords, different chords. Okay, so these are techniques. This is a really easy technique that we call diatonic passing tones technique, in Italian note di passaggio. Okay, and this is very important, and I can practice this in this box, but as always in each box of my guitar. And first of all, I look for the different solutions. So I ask myself, C Ionian, root, major second, major third, and then root, major second, and major third, the same. Then I do the same on A minor, root, major second, and minor third, the same. And again. Then I do the same on D minor. And on G7. Now I can do the same, starting from the third, going up to the fifth. So I start from the third up to the fifth, C major, A minor, A minor, D minor, G7. And then I start from the 5th up to the major 7th, to the 7th. So C major. Then I go to A minor. And also this one. Then I go to A minor. D minor. And G7. And of course I can play the same phrases coming down in the different direction going down. And I can use them to improvise. So I try to show you a little improvisation, just using the more than I can, this kind of technique. And so on. So this, of course, is something that I don't use only in this way. When I usually play, I play this and I play other things in between, or before or later. And I have seen this technique used by a lot of really important musicians, Pat Metheny, Jim Hall, all of them use this easy technique, and they are very good in using this, and they can play around these kind of ideas everywhere on the fretboard. This is very important. And in the beginning, it's not easy to use only this technique. And we have to practice this just to focus where these little phrases are. And this is, I think, something useful to practice in each fingering, and I suggest to practice this to you. Then the last thing that I would like to share are, as always, drop voicings, and where we go back to this. These are the positions that we are going to use from the book Schemi per chitarra, Rivolti delle tetradi. These are 3 books that I use with my students at school, because I wrote these books for my students to learn all of the positions, because as usual we learn some positions but we usually don't practice all of them, and writing these books I also learned a lot about positions. So going back now, I'm going to show you these positions, and we are moving to a different set, because in all of the past episodes we were working always on the central set of strings, 4 strings, and we were using the strings A, D, G and B, while today we begin to use the 4 highest string on our guitar. So we will play from the highest note, highest string, E, B, G and D. The first position is a C major 7 drop 2 voicing in second inversion. then we play A minor 7, root position. Then we play D minor 7, second inversion. Then we play G7, root position. These are different positions for our fingers, but we did exactly the same when we played C major 7th here, and then we went to A minor 7th, D minor 7th, and G7th. Here I'm playing the same chords on the central set of strings, but here I'm playing it on the highest 4 strings of my guitar. And these are the positions that I want to share. Something that I would like to start doing for the first time in this video is to start connecting these new positions with some of the positions that we studied in the past episodes. So starting from C major 7th, I suggest you to go down to the C major 7 as first inversion. So doing this and then down. Doing this, I can play a melody, this melody, with the 2 top notes for the 2 chords. Then I go to A minor 7 and I go down. Then I go to D minor 7 and I go down. G7 and I go down. And back to C major 7. In this way, I'm creating always this melody. Then I minor 7. Then D minor 7. And G7. And C major 7 one more time. And you can also play them in a different order. For example, you can play C major 7 and then you go to the different voicing. Then you go to A minor 7th on the same set and you go up to the inversion. Then you go to D minor 7 and you go down to the inversion, G7, and you go up to the inversion, and C major 7 one more time. So one more time, C major 7, I go down with the inversion, A minor 7, and go up with the inversion, D minor 7, I go down with the inversion, G7, and I go up with the inversion, and I go back. And of course I can also start from the lowest position for C major 7, and then I go up with the inversion, then A minor 7, and I go down with the inversion, D minor 7, and I go up with the inversion, G7, and I go down with the inversion, and C major 7. And these are easy ways to start asking your brain and your hands to move from one inversion to the other, changing the set of strings where you are going to play these chords, so that you can start connecting more than one voicing for the same chord. And I suggest you to try to practice this, okay? So these are the 3 arguments I wanted to talk together with you. So now if you have some questions or something to ask, please, this is the moment. Hi Salvo, hi Sasha, Alexander, hi Silvano. Okay, do you have something to ask around these arguments, as always, now in the ending of these videos, it would be nice if you want to add something or ask something or share with us how do you feel practicing this material in these days, if you are starting to understand or learning something new that you didn't practice before. So if you want to share some of these things, please, it would be nice. Oh, Telmo. Hi Riccardo, for now I'm practicing everything in the same position. Okay, but sooner I will do the other position. Yeah, Shunsuke, tutto chiaro. Yeah, sometimes the problem, just to say, sometimes I explain things in maybe in a clear way, but it's important anyway to try to find out some different solutions, or if you have different ideas, it would be very important to try to share also doubts, also things that you think not important maybe, but they could be important if we talk about those. So if you have everything, Telmo, for example, wrote that he is practicing everything in the same position, and yes, that is a good idea, for example, Telmo, because you can practice all of these approaches, all of these techniques, and try to understand the sound for each technique. But at the same time, it is really important also to try to move in different places of the fretboard. And this is our problem. This is the guitar problem. The problem for guitar players, because as you know, a saxophone player or a piano player, they play one mode in a very easy way, always the same way on their instrument. Maybe they have got different problems to solve that we don't have, but positions, of course, are the same, while on guitar we have a lot of different positions. And of course, musicians in different periods were using different approaches. I've seen guitar players playing only in this place of the fretboard, for example. I've seen other players playing all around, of course. A lot of the really good players, they do this playing everywhere. But of course, we have to find as first result a way to play music. So during this lesson, yes, I explain all of the positions, all of the things that we can learn, but it's a good idea doing the same like Telmo, right? Practicing something in one position just to find the sound and to be able to improvise, to use this material in one of these positions. But at the same time, I think that it could be very important also to practice in a less deep way more positions without becoming good in doing all of in using all of the techniques that I share with you, but practicing in all of the fingerings at the end become like practicing in every key on guitar. Because if you are good in playing this material in all of the fingerings on the fretboard, you will be able to play all of these fingerings in the same box. And when you will play all of the fingerings in the same box, you will be playing in every key. Okay, so modulation becomes easy when we start using all of the shapes for scales and arpeggios, and when we move all of these shapes, all of these fingerings in the same box. And for this, it becomes important to practice all of the fingerings, you know, to be ready to play in the same place of the neck, of the fretboard, in every key. So, practicing very well C major everywhere, playing all of the arpeggios, all of the inversions, and all of knowing about all of the common tones, all of the movements all of the directions for notes. At the end, we'll become being able to do this in every key. And for this, I don't go to a different key. You know, if we just practice very well in C major, we can do it everywhere in each key. So, yes, you can use these two kind of approaches, or you can use both approaches in the same time. So, if you want, you can concentrate more in one position to improvise, to have fun, to play, to use this stuff. And at the same time, try to use the material, maybe not improvising, maybe not playing, but also in different fingerings to start knowing these new fingerings. I will practice in them. The arpeggios are all studied, but not the modes. Okay, so for example, arpeggios, when we practice arpeggios, we immediately understand the difference between C major 7th and A minor 7th, or A minor 7th and D minor 7th, because notes, yes, we have some common tones, but I don't know why on guitar it's easy to understand the difference between arpeggios. While when we talk about modes in the same key, as in the major turnaround, it seems to be always the same scale. And this is something that creates a lot of problems in learning, because at the end we play, we forget about degrees and we start playing. While when we play just with arpeggios, we are more concentrated on the degrees, because we have to use just those 4 notes for each chord. And when we start playing the scale, we just play the scale and we don't think anymore to degrees. And this is really dangerous, because at the end they are the same. Arpeggios or scales or modes are the same, because they are always notes in relationship with chords. So if these are notes in relationship with chords, playing arpeggios, it means that you are playing a 3rd or a 5th or a 7th. It's exactly the same when you play the 9th, the 11th or the 13th. They are anyway always notes in relationship with chords. But we forget about that sometimes when we play scales, because we just think melodically. And it's not bad in some way, but it would be better to be able to think in a melodic way without losing the contact with harmony. And these kind of exercises that I suggested today and in the past episodes are something that we can use to try to link our melodic view of music to the correct relationship with chords, which is the basic for composition, to write music or to improvise. When you analyze an improvisation from a really good musician, one of the greats, they are very good and they always are correct in relationship with chords. And this is not just because they are good and no, this is because they practice in the right way. They started to understand all of the relationships between notes and chords. And this is what we have to try to do in some way. So with little steps like the ones that I share with you during this period of these videos, I think that you can reach this level. But you have to be patient in some way and just practice this. Maybe sometimes without asking yourself if you will really reach a result. Don't ask yourself to be good immediately, you know. Just ask yourself to go on. It's not easy, because a lot of times we can have doubts. We can think that maybe we are not as good as so good to do this now, and maybe we want to go in a different place. But at the end, it's not like this. It's just that we need to have time for our brain and practice without being afraid of having results. This I think that this is very important, to don't lose the energy to do this. I know that from the first episode up, and then I do the second episode, the third, the fourth, and so on, and maybe you start thinking, okay, but how many positions do I have to learn? How many different arpeggios? How many different ways to play these arpeggios? Yeah, try to think that. Anyway, I decided to create a new video each Monday, and so I look for something to tell you in each video and something to show you, but at the end your brain will need more time to learn all of these things. So you can just watch the episode, maybe write down some ideas, practice some of them. It's impossible to practice all of them in each fingering right now, so you can maybe I already told you this. You can use a copybook to practice, to organize your practice, just to know what you practiced and what you didn't. This is something that helps. I use, for example, an application, a software that I would like to show you. I'm not sure that it will work if I use it, because I have to go online to use it. Yeah. This is an app that I use to practice. I'm not sure that I can show you this, but I would like to try. Okay, I have to do something in my software to try to do this. So please wait a minute if I can. Anyway, the name of this software that I use is Trello, and Trello is just a software to organize my work, to organize what I study, what I practice. Sorry, I'm sharing with you a black screen, but I hope... No. No, sorry, it's impossible for me to show you this. It doesn't work. Okay. Sorry, it doesn't work. Anyway, Trello is an application, is a software where you can organize different lists of things, list of material that you are practicing, and you can have some checklists. So we can use technique, this kind of analogic technique, to show you. And you can use this on your mobile phone, for example. Your phone, and for example, when I practice arpeggios, I make lists and I check the arpeggio that I'm practicing like this, using this. Is it possible to read or not? I don't know. I hope you understand the meaning of this. And I use this because more and more times I lost the point. I didn't know what was I studying in that moment. So doing this, I can practice each day a different thing, because now in my evolution as a musician, I try to practice each day different things in different ways, and I have this long list, and every day I check something different and I practice something different. Arpeggios, if I was practicing major 7 yesterday, today I will practice dominant 7th, and tomorrow I will practice 6th, and the day after I will practice minor major 7th, and so on. And for all of the arguments I've got different lists to practice different things. Why do I do this? Because I want to be prepared in some way. When someone asks me to play in a band, or to record something, or to play something, I always would want to be ready to play everything, try to play everything. For example, another challenge is to be able to play on different rhythms. So sometimes I practice different rhythms, sometimes I practice comping to be ready to comp in a good way, sometimes I practice arpeggios, scales, improvisation, reading, and so on. So all of these different aspects have to be controlled in some way, and to do that I use this Trello software that I always have with me, because it's on my phone, it's on my PC, and I can always check what I'm studying. Okay, so just to understand, do you have any other doubt? You could put a link of the app. I look for the page. Just a moment. This is an app that you have to subscribe to this app. You have to, but it doesn't cost. You don't have to pay. This is, just a moment. This is the Italian page, but you will surely find, I publish it in the group. Okay, you have the link in the group. Okay, anyway, there are other softwares that works in a similar way, and some of my students use other softwares. This is not the only one, but I like the possibility to connect on different devices the material. Okay, so I hope these videos are good, and please, if you like and if you want, please share these links on YouTube or here on the Facebook with some friends if you want. Okay, so bye bye. See you next Monday with a new episode and something new for you, and something new to practice one more time for me. And see you next week. Bye bye. Ciao. Ciao a tutti. Ciao.